Welcome to the channel. I'm Tony the Technician. Today we're going to be going into the Harbor Freight website and checking out all of the ITC deals for this month. I'm not going to go into every single one, but I will mention some of the ones I think are really good, some of the ones that, are okay, some of them that, you might be able to wait and get a better discount on. But there is quite a bit, so let's go ahead and get right into it. Here we have the Icon T10 scan tool at $1,500, down from $1,700, which I've heard some really good things about this scan tool. The downside being it's hard for them to compete with some of these other ones, 3/4, half the price, that have free lifetime updates. And I think that's something that Icon should consider. Next over here, the 20-ton air hydraulic bottle jack. These bottle jacks are a very popular upgrade for the shop presses. I know a lot of people do them to the 20-ton, and then they also have a 12-ton as well. So this one is at $90, down from $160, so $70 worth of savings. Really good deal on that. Then you have the Pittsburgh ratcheting wrench set, 7-piece set. This is available in both metric and SAE for $19 each, down from $30. So if you're looking for a beater set, or you're just a weekend warrior DIYer needing some ratcheting wrenches, this isn't a bad deal at all at $19. There you can see the SAE set. Yukon has their 46-inch mobile workbench on sale at $270, down from $300, so a little bit of savings on that. It is available in 3 different colors. You have the Quinn 1/4-inch, 3/8, and 1/2-inch drive, SAE and metric, 66-piece set at $60, not on sale, $45 for ITC members. That's a fantastic deal for a set of this size, 66 pieces, $45. That's well under $1 per piece. The Yukon 48-inch workbench with light, down from $120 to $100, so a little bit of savings on that. If you need like a little craft bench or a light duty workbench, these are a good option. Next up, we have the 1/6 horsepower utility pump, 1,600 gallons per hour, down to $60 from $72 or $73. They had a really good deal on their 1/2 horsepower, I believe it was, but I know a lot of people that really enjoy these as well. Daytona 2,500 pound capacity steel vehicle dollies, 2-piece set at $70. That's a really good deal. Some of these wheel dollies can get very expensive. I think that's a really good deal. They got the 12 amp 5-ton electric log splitter. I don't have any experience with that. I haven't used a log splitter in years, and it definitely was not electric. So if any of you guys have experience with this, please let me know your guys' thoughts down in the comments. But that is at $275, down from $315. Jump starter and power pack, down to $55 from $80. I don't think that's a bad deal. 31% savings. The Braun 500 lumen professional headlamp, $8, down from $15. I think that's a good deal. The Quinn, here we have both 3/8 drive, both metric and SAE, down from $30 to $22, so a decent amount of savings on those. These are bolt extractor sockets. Just keep that in mind. These are not their low profiles, but they're bolt extractor sets. They have their battery charger, engine starter, and alternator tester here at $180, down from $230. Couple of their tarps on sale. Here's their 3/4 horsepower stainless steel pump, 4,400 gallons per hour, down to $150 from $190. Here's a good one. I really like this set. Very similar to my gear wrench one, but in some ways I like it more, just as far as what's included and at the lengths that they're included. But this is a 87-piece master bit socket set at $80, down from $100. The gear wrench one can sometimes be found for around $75, but a lot of the times it's $100 to $130. Here we have the 1.5-ton Daytona aluminum floor jack at $125, down from $140. So not a whole lot of savings on this, but it's not very often that we get to see deals on the aluminum floor jacks from Daytona, so I think that's a pretty decent deal. The Pittsburgh 1/2-inch drive 25-inch breaker bar. This thing's been very, very popular for many years. This is down to $18 from $22, which is always just a great bang for your buck breaker bar. The 22-ton air hydraulic floor jack, down to $300 from $390. Definitely some good savings on that. Moving down, they have the 10-ton portable hydraulic equipment kit. This is at $170, down from $260, so some really good savings on this, and this can be a really handy tool for multiple different types of occupations or random jobs you may be taking on. Then they have the 1/4-inch drive SAE and metric General Service socket set, 48-piece set, down to $80 from $113. Some really good savings on that, and I really, really like this set. If I didn't already have multiple socket sets, this would definitely be one that I would consider. As far as being able to take it mobile in this case, or have it nicely organized in your toolbox or tool cart with the EVA foam, I think it's fantastic. I'm a fan of EVA foam though. I understand it's not for everybody, but I like the organization and how it's set up and everything that's included. They have the 10-gun electronic security safe at $329 from $380, so a little bit of savings on that. We got the Grant's Ultra Plush Edgeless Microfiber Towels, 12-pack for $6. I think that's a fantastic deal. Having microfiber towels on hand is always amazing, and these Grant ones are actually pretty dang nice. Wet tile saw, 15 amp, 10 inch at $430, down from $500, so some pretty decent savings on that. Not a big fan of Warrior corded or cordless tools. I just think it's worth stepping up to at least the Hercules or Bauer. 14.5 amp, 23-pound demolition hammer over here at $300, down from $380. 35-gallon high flow dust collector at $200, down from $300, so $100 worth of savings on this, which I think is an awesome deal. 1,500-pound capacity engine stand at $270, down from $300, so a little bit of savings off of that. Deep well socket set from Pittsburgh at $9, down from $14, which if you need, just a cheap little socket set, that's very, very affordable. The Braun 18,000 lumen LED detachable work light with stand at $90, down from $125. I think that's a good deal. These LED work lights are a huge upgrade from what I grew up with. The 4,000-pound capacity steel auto ramp set at $60, down from $70, so a little bit of savings on that, but those can be handy as long as you have room to store them somewhere out of the way. Once again, I'm not going to go over everything, but you can see all of the deals here. Thunderbolt solar battery, 12-volt, 35 amp hour at $60, down from $77. Foam cannon for washing your car, $25. That's not a bad deal. I don't really use much of the sandpaper. I haven't had good experiences years ago using any of their sandpaper. Now, over the last couple of years, they've released a ridiculous amount of different sandpapers and brands. So maybe some of them have improved and are worth it now, but I just stayed away from them since I haven't had good experiences with them years ago. Maddox high performance inflator, that's okay. There's tons of other off-road ones around the same price that you can get some pretty dang good performance out of. The Maddox front wheel drive bearing remover and installer kit, 21-piece set at $90, down from $115, so $25 worth of savings there. Here they have their smaller Jupiter 750-watt continuous and 1,500-watt peak modified sine wave power inverter at $58, down from $70. The 1/4-inch and 3/8 dual drive extendable ratchet. I've never really bought any of the extendable things just because to me they just seem gimmicky and I don't like the idea of them unless it's going in like a junkyard bag. But I've actually had a lot of commenters and viewers stating that they've had really good experiences with a lot of these extendable tools. I think they're great for maybe junkyard bag or roadside emergency bag, like to keep in a vehicle. I think in those situations something like this would be great. And that's down to $10 from $18, so some pretty decent savings on that. The Bauer 50-foot self-leveling 360-degree laser level at $80 from $100, 20% worth of savings there. I think that's a pretty good deal. Some of these can get quite expensive. Here they have the Luminar Works 6,000 lumen LED work light at $25, down from $30, a little bit of savings on that. Here we actually have a Quinn 3/8 drive SAE and metric socket set, 35-piece set at $30, down from $40, so that brings it down to about the price that it technically should be. Not that $40 is a bad price, but this is Quinn's more generic ratchet. They do have their better design ratchet, but I don't think that's a bad deal. A hole saw kit at $10, down from $15, so either way it's cheap. This is from Warrior, and it's 3/4 inch to 5 inch. They have the bandsaw over here from Central Machinery, 1 horsepower, 4-inch by 6-inch at $280, down from $300, so not a whole lot of savings on that. Some security lights from Bunker Hill. The Icon diagnostic smoke machine at $500. down from 570. So some decent savings on that, but that's, you know, priced a little bit higher than what a lot of DIYers. This is going to be for maybe those in the professional field. But I haven't really heard enough about the longevity and, you know, actually seeing some use out of this. So we'll just keep our ears open on this. If you guys have experience with the smoke machine from Icon, please let me know down in the comments. Then we got the Bauer 20 volt 7¼ inch circular saw. This is the tool only at $80, down from $90, so not a whole lot of savings on that. Hardy cut resistant gloves at $350, down from $550. The Bauer 24-inch tool bag with 16 pockets, down to $25 from $33, so some decent savings on that. 12 volt transfer pump, 290 gallons per hour at $48 from $60. Here's the bigger version of what we were looking at earlier. This is the 1400 lumen rechargeable headlamp from Braun. I think this is a great little headlamp. $28 down from $35. Here's the 12-ton bottle jack that I was talking about earlier. They had the 20-ton that we mentioned a little bit ago. Here we have the 12-ton down to $90 from $120, $30 worth of savings on that. This Grant's detail seat is actually a pretty dang good seat. Sometimes these little cup holders and organizer bins can be really annoying, so you can take those off. Multiple brands sell this seat, some of them with these external accessories, some of them without. But this is a really good deal on this seat, $55, and a lot of people really enjoy it. It rolls really well. It's actually more comfortable than it looks. I was pretty impressed with this seat. Warrior, another hole saw kit. This is 3/4 inch to 2.5 inch for $35. This is bimetal and a little bit more expensive, I believe, than the one that we were looking at earlier. Here we have the McGraw air needle scaler. My buddy actually just picked this up a couple months ago to scale the frame of his truck before repainting or epoxying it. And while that does take quite a bit of time, he did have good experiences with it, and it worked really well. This is down to $30 from $40. The 1/2 inch by 18 inch belt sander from Baxter, down to $80 from $100. Bauer's 4-volt cordless stapler at $35. The Doyle heavy duty ratcheting crimper. I really like this style of crimper. If you can, you know, afford, they're a little bit bulkier than some of your other crimpers. I don't have experience with this specific one from Doyle, but it is very, very similar to my Klein one, and I really enjoy it. And that's down to $13 from $20. Pittsburgh Mechanics roller seat with drawers. You know, it's just a cheaper shop seat. It's down to $65 from $80. The Schneider trigger for propane torch, $35 down from $45, so some pretty decent savings on that. Merlin's high flow air blow gun, down to $14 from $17. Not a huge savings on that, but it is a little bit nicer blowgun than some of the other ones that they have available. I'm not a welder. I don't have experience with a lot of the welding equipment at Harbor Freight, but here we have the Vulcan auto darkening welding helmet with the flame design, down to $130 from $150. The 30-bin wall mount parts rack, fantastic little organizer. I've had mine for quite a few years now and absolutely love it. $20 is already a fantastic deal on this organizer. A lot of brands sell this exact same thing, but for like $25 to $35, sometimes even more. The fact that you can get this not only for $20, but ITC members can get it for $15. This is a fantastic little wall organizer for, you know, all your miscellaneous stuff. Hercules 8-inch bench grinder at $170 from $200, so $30 worth of savings on that. Banks 20-gauge 7/16-inch wide stapler at $28 from $35. Trim router from Drill Master at $19, down from $30. US General has their 1/2-inch magnetic socket rails with the twist lock, down to $15 from $22. And you can get this 1/4 inch, 3/8, and 1/2 inch drive. Here you can see the other ones. Maddox's hydraulic brake flaring toolkit, not cheap, but this is a pretty inclusive kit. You got a pretty good variety of fittings for different flares. This is at $280, down from $350, so quite a bit of savings on this. And while it's not cheap, if you do brake lines, this is a good deal compared to some of the other ones on the market. Merlin has a couple different quick coupler sets that are on sale right now. This one down from $16 to $12. The McGraw long barrel air hammer down to $30 from $40, so it's $10 worth of savings on that. Then we have the Central Machinery 30-pound capacity abrasive blast cabinet down to $170 from $200. The Jupiter Pure sine wave inverter 3000 watt or 6000 peak. The power inverter is at $480 from $500, so not a whole lot of savings on that. This is the bigger version of what I run, and I've had very good experiences with mine. But once again, this is the 3000 watt. So just a few miscellaneous items up here. Once again, I'm not going to be going over everything. Gorilla Glue 18-ounce wood glue down from $9 to $6, which is actually a pretty good deal. Normally a lot of the sprays and chemicals, if you can find them at other box stores, sometimes when they're not on sale at Harbor Freight, they're usually cheaper other places. But when you can get the chemicals and sprays and stuff like that at Harbor Freight on sale, it's usually a pretty good deal. The McGraw 1/4-inch straight air die grinder at $20 from $25. Jupiter, they have their power cable sets. This the 3-foot set at $30 down from $40. My only issue is a lot of the times I feel like Harbor Freight is out of a lot of the inverter cable sets. Here's the Warrior micro engraver at $7.50 down from $10, so already cheap item, a little bit cheaper. If you guys have experience with this micro engraver, please let me know your guys' experiences down in the comments. Here we have the Chief extended air die grinder at $50 down from $70, so some pretty decent savings on that. Brush set, these are always handy. I used to get these all the time whenever I could get them for free. They're not the best brushes in the world, but to have them on hand, they're always handy. I usually got the 6-pack, not specifically this set, but $129 right now for that. Brake pad thickness checker here at $9 from $14. Here we have the Quinn low profile impact socket set, the 1/2-inch drive. That's a little confusing when you look at it this way. Starting at $30, member deal $32. That doesn't sound like a very good deal, but I think they're talking about the SAE set is going to be $30 down to $25, and the metric is going to be $40 down to $32. Icon's professional metric wrench set. This is a 14-piece set down to $100, which I think is a good price for this. It's just your combination wrench set, so a little bit higher than some other brands out there in similar quality ranges, but not terrible. We have both the metric and SAE, both 14-piece sets. Another wet tile saw at $250 down from $300. The 24 guns fire resistant combination safe. This is going to be a little bit more expensive than your standard gun cabinet, and this is down $100 to $529, so some pretty decent savings on that. Here are the Pittsburgh 3-inch drive quick release or locking extensions, 4-piece set at $15. The Bauer tool only pole saw, $75 down from $90. And then just the last few items we're looking at, the Rust-Oleum 1-gallon truck bed liner, $70 down from $80, so not a whole lot of savings on that. But 6-inch random orbital sander at $30 down from $40. The Hercules bandsaw, this is the tool only, no battery included, $100 down from $135. I think that's a good deal. These Pittsburgh dead blows are always good, cheap, just beater hammers, just good for just about anything. And if you destroy them, it is what it is, easily replaced. Some Warrior oscillating multi-tool blades. I don't have experience with these. If you guys do, please let me know down in the comments, but these are down from $10 to $7, so already cheap to really, really cheap. So then we got the Franklin 17-foot multitask ladder at $140 down from $150. And that looks to be it as far as the ITC deals. Once again, we didn't go over everything, just some of the bigger deals or more popular deals. I think we have a decent amount of good deals. Some that are, just mediocre, but some pretty decent deals out there going on for ITC members. If you guys haven't become an ITC member, it is well worth it, even if you only go to Harbor Freight a couple times a year. Basically, your first time going there as an ITC member, you can very easily earn your membership money back in savings. So I think it's a good idea. Let me know your guys' experience, and I really hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys did, make sure to smash that thumbs up, and if you guys haven't subscribed, make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.